Hey traders, Parker again with another indicator. Today I'll be introducing you to the thrust bar indicator. It's not my indicator, it's actually Mobius indicator, and I just added fibs to it and the higher time frames. What it does is basically it finds those thrust bars. It uses the range of the candle and the volume of the candle and creates a thrust bar within a certain number of candles. So without further ado, let's throw the indicator on here. And it's automatically defaulted to an hour. And I have it set at 12. So out of the 12 candles or 12 bars or whatever, it found this thrust bar on the hourly time frame. So with the indicator, I just added fibs. This is your thrust high, thrust low, and this is 10% from the low, 20, 23.8, 38.2, 50, 61.8, yeah, 61.8, 78.2, and 10% from your top. And it has this cloud function. And if we go to the actual hour, and there you have it. It's showing you that candle right there. This candle right here is your thrust candle for that hour. So we're going to push it back down. So you have the fibs to show in between the thrust candle, and then you have the fibs to show outside of the thrust candle to give you certain targets. It's showing pretty nicely on this stock, Fisker. It dropped after the thrust was created. It it dropped down to the 38.2, and it pushed back above the 50, and then it got above the 61.8, but it made a retracement. If you know anything about fibs, you're looking for retracement levels or possible target levels. So I'm going to push it to another stock. Let's see this one. I traded this stock and made a few dollars off of it. And it made this thrust up candle an hour before the market opened. And it pretty much followed it. This is 50% of that candle, thrust candle. This was the high of that thrust candle. And it came back to the 50%. And it pushed back up to the 78.2, and right now it's testing this 38.2 level in the thrust candle. And this is the indicator, and it actually went above 10% afterwards as well of that thrust candle. So that's pretty cool on that one, and we'll put it on SPY and see what it shows. So this would be the thrust up candle, the hourly candle from here to here. And with the SPY, it came to the 23.8 level, and it retested the 61.8, couldn't quite make it above the 78.2. And one of the things I wanted to show you there's a true fib. So using the Fibonacci levels, and you can see how it fits right on top of those levels that the indicator marked out. But when I was doing research for this, I wasn't really doing research for it. When I came across the guy's video for thrust candles or to find those entry points in certain stocks, he talked about thrust candles, and Mobius had already created the thrust candle indicator, and I just added fibs and made it so you can use on a higher time frame. But he talked about a sweet spot being within this 30% of the candle, and the SPY never did reach it. And here's the 30% down here for the candle at the low. So, but it bounced on that 30%, or somewhere in that 30% of the candle. Because if you're looking at it, this is a 0, 10, 23.8, and this is 38.2, but 30 is somewhere in there. And that's exactly where it really bounced at. And it retested the same area. But this is the thrust candle indicator with Fibs. Like I said, it's Mobius indicator. All you get is the cloud and the coloring of the bars, but with the regular indicator, you can find a used ThinkScript, and you can get it there if you want the original or if you want mine. I'll leave a link in the description here, and I also put it on used ThinkScript as well. And Mobius indicator is just called the thrust bar indicator, but I just added Fibs to it. And it works out pretty good. I like it, and I plan on using it in my trading going forward. And it's working out pretty good right here. So let's go to Tesla. And sometimes you have to make the adjustments, and right now I have it on 12. So let's see what it finds. I'm pushing it down to let's see what 5 gives us. So I pushed it to 5, and it found this thrust candle right here. From this low to this high was a thrust candle on the hourly. Tesla came back down within 50% of the candle and shot back up within 10% above the thrust candle high. Came back to the 78.2, and it's retesting this 10% area and the 78.2. So hopefully it pushes up, but one of the things you got to be aware of is lunchtime. And I'm just trying to get this indicator to pop up. Or come on, Thinkorswim. The time reminders indicator that I didn't create it, but I just made adjustments to it. It's after lunch, as this indicator is showing you lunch. So most big time investors, they go to lunch, and it's just going to be a slow in the market, and right now it's just choppy. It's gonna be choppy, so it hasn't picked a direction. And let me do this. I just want to check something according to volume. So we're using this high and that low here, and you can see where all that buying volume came in. You got this huge red bar, but it couldn't bring it down because all this buying volume, and afterwards all this buying volume. But everything after that was low volume until you got to this bar. And if I push it down to a 5 minute, push the indicator down to a 5 minute, you probably get another thrust bar here. So it works on all time frames. You just have to make certain adjustments for it, like I did earlier. So I'm gonna push it down to the 5 minute and see what it gives us. And it's only using five candles. So for this one, I'm going to push it to 12 or higher. And if you push it to 12, this is what it gives you for the thrust candle right here. It's not a perfect indicator, but it's a free indicator, and it works out pretty great on the higher time frames. And let's try 21. Nope, same thing. But you can adjust the tuning of the thrust level. I'll push it up to 1, and right now, like I said, I got it on the 5 minute. It works out if you get rid of the fib high and lows right here. It works out. It still works out really good as an indicator. And like I said, you can get the original or you can get my version of it. And I'm going to push it to 15 minutes. Yeah. And I'll leave it at 21 and see what it gives us. Gives a pretty good deal. Found this thrust level between this high and that low. Came back and it, just 38.2, 50%, 61.8, and Tesla right now is just ranging. And I'm long Tesla. I only bought one share, but I'm up $227 at my average price $937. I didn't use this indicator, but I just use fib levels. And I would have been better getting in at this fib level right here at the 50% instead of where I got in at 930 something, whatever it is. And I'm just doing this to show you that it works on all time frames. This is really the end of the video. So if you have it on daily and you can push it, I got it set for 21. So we'll push it down to 12. Let's see what it gives us. This is the actual thrust candle, and you probably want to take it up to a higher time frame. So we'll do a week. And I guess from here to here will be a thrust candle for the week. And let's take it up to a month. And this is where it might not work. So let's take it to max available. It did. But you shouldn't have to take it that far out. So we should be able to take it up to a 3-year. Nope. And let's try it on a 2-year. Same information. So at least for it works on some stocks, but once you get into these higher time frames like the monthly and the daily stuff, it goes haywire, I guess. Come on, Thinkorswim. I'm trying to push it to the 90-day 4 hours and see if it gives anything. Nope. So I'm going to push it back to the day and put it on the 90-day 4 hour. It did pretty good. This would be your thrust high and your thrust low, and these will be the Fibonacci levels accordingly above it, and it's above that 10%. I wonder if it'll work on a week and see what it gives us. And it did. It spread it out a lot higher. So this will be your thrust high, this will be your thrust low. And let's see what Tesla is accordingly. Got up and through that thrust level. I mean above the thrust high. And right now it got above 10% of that. And this is the 23.8. And this will be your 38.2 level. And you can see all that volume that came in. And this is all low volume over here besides this one candle. And this candle is high volume, low volume. And this is extremely low volume. And this is ultra high volume over here. So this is really good for the stock. This is my VSA indicator. This pre-market thing should go away, or should have went away. But it's probably because of the time frame it didn't go away. Well, it's just volume spread analysis. And for me, I use it as a volatility indicator. Right now, this stock is using 78% of the 100-day average, 81% of the 21-day average, 86% of the 10-day average, and 80% of the days average. And this is the current volume, and this is the bar average. And this is the buy sell percent. But I call it the VSA, true VSA volume spread analysis indicator. And that's basically what it's doing. This green area, or the higher green area between here and here, is basically the buyers beat out the sellers. And this is what the sellers tried, much of the sellers tried. And yeah, the sell volume versus the buy volume, but the buy volume was at least 30% higher. Here, it was at least 50% or 60% higher. And over here, it's probably even 50% higher. And this was almost no buying at all, or it's very low volume buying on that candle. came back in, buyers came in, you got low volume, and this little indicator right here is just saying it's a squeeze indicator, and you got a high volume to the high side, and it worked out, and you got the irregular body, which is basically saying that this candle is smaller than the previous candle, but the volume on it is way higher, as you can see down here. High volume to the high, and this is probably that climax candle. Yeah, the climax. No, selling. Is it the selling climax or the buying climax? Probably the selling climax, and that's when it drove the price down to where you see it with traveling basically within this range. And this is your last. No, you got a high volume right here, but basically it's just trapped in this range, and volume is decreasing to the downside. And like I said, it's the VSA indicator, and you can probably find that one on my Etsy shop. It's not ready yet. I'm still fine tuning it, and this arrow just shows one deviation above regular volume, one deviation above regular volume. This was 2 deviations above regular volume. You probably got another candle there, yeah. So this candle right here is actually 2 deviations, but you can cut all these labels off if you don't want them or they're in the way. But yeah, this candle is 2 deviations high above its normal level. So if you don't know what deviations I'm talking about, what I refer to when I talk about deviations, just put on the VWAP or the Bollinger Bands, and that's basically what you're getting. So this would be the middle line is VWAP, the volume weighted average price, and then you got 2 deviations to the high side, 2 deviations to the downside, and that's basically what it's showing you. You know, price came back down, hit VWAP, and shot back up to the 2 deviations above normal VWAP, and now it's just trading in between this area. And I didn't mean to show you all of that, but hey, what the heck? Well, it's Tesla, and you put that back on there, you got a good picture of how to use the indicator and what to expect. But this is Parker again with another indicator. Like I said, it's free. It's in the description. If you want the indicator, hey, just go down to the description and follow the link to it, and paste it in Thinkorswim, and it's yours. Like I said, I'm not the original it's not my original indicator. I just made it, added a few things to it that I think could help other traders out. And that's basically what my channel is about, helping other traders out on different strategies. And if you're not unfamiliar with Thrust Bar indicator or that strategy, look it up. And it's really a volume-based strategy, and how much work or volume it took to push that candle up, and it's really telling you something about the volume spread analysis as well. So in conjunction with a volume indicator, this works out pretty good, and it's showing you that. And if we push it to the hour, oh, I have it set on the 15-minute. We go to the 15-minute. Do I have it set on the 15-minute? Yeah, it's set on 15 minutes. So you got all this volume, and that's exactly what's on that thrust candle. And this candle is it's probably only 30% or 20% of this candle. So it's very little selling going on. Then you got this big volume candle to come up, at least 70% of this sell candle, and then you got all of this buying came in on another big candle, but it's not as big as this candle, and it's not as much volume. And if we go, it's not showing any deviations. I guess this pushed it up, but I'm pretty sure this is like way 2 or 3 deviations above normal volume. And plus, it's showing you your squeeze as well right there. and that's exactly what happened. You can see the squeeze in the bowl. I mean, in the VWAP as these lines are getting closer and closer, squeezing in on VWAP, and then you got their explosion. And we can pull in the Bollinger Bands. Then it should show you the same thing, and I'm going to push this down to 12. 12 has been my number. And I use the whole candle, the high, low, and close divided by 3, and keep it on simple average. Same thing. You can see you had all this turbulence over here. The Bollinger Band, outer lines are squeezing in on price and squeezing in on the Bollinger Band. You got your explosion of price movement. And this is all on a 15-minute. And this will be your 12-period average. Simple move average. So, and whenever I use the Bollinger Bands, I usually use this VWAP version to not get confused, but I don't use the VWAP deviations. All right, this video is way too long, but if you like the indicator, hey, it's free. If you're not familiar, I got some other indicators on Etsy, and also you can contact me via email, cwparker23indicators@yahoo.com, and I have my Twitter page is Parker's Thinkorswim, and what else? You see the YouTube, Facebook, where else? Instagram also. But check it out. Hey, I appreciate it. If you stayed this long, like I said, I didn't mean for the video to be this long, but I just wanted to give you as much information regarding the indicator and its use and its benefits. And that's my goal, to help other traders and show the benefit of these indicators and the strategies. Thank you all, and y'all have a great day. If you like the indicator, leave me a like. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, and you'll get the alerts when I post new indicators, and you can get the free ones as much as you want. And yeah, like and subscribe so you can get the most recent indicators and other things that I put out, other information. Y'all have a blessed day.